Now, do I remember where I was? You launched it back from the alien plots, the shaky one's fries, the train packed its only. Oh yeah, that's right. The mother. So stop. Airplane lunging freezers worth of bio samples behind you. Wait, didn't I? Yeah, I did take care of that. We'll head back to base. Talk to my team, see if we can get more of their stories going. Let's. Yes. Nope. So Blitz is done as we already did his story. Got him. That's it. Play dead. If I keep that up, he'll eventually learn it, but I don't know. Inbox for new messages. Alright. Jobs directory. Nope. Shadowrun be yes. Just pay data. All the keywords. Nope. Nope. Alright. Nobody wants to talk to me. Let's see. Really should save it up for that. Yeah. Save it for that. Alright, looks like the Mark 7 prototype. Once again, a good team. Really want to use Dietrich, but I mean, we got one magic. I got magic sport on this team, and that's me. So. Monolithic plastic, sterile. The Berlin office of AG Chemie Europa is all things and more. The worst quantities of modern corporation culture all mixed into a toxic stew that's sliced into a single prefab office building. Thankfully, you shouldn't have to stay long. According to the intel that your client provided, this should be a simple smash and grab operation. You soon enough been given the tools to carry it out with minimum fuss. For Mark 7 source 6 prototype. Orders waiting for the other side. 25th floor. It's time to go and get it. All right. Got over here. Great. Now I missed it. Project stop. Stash. moments sifting through cables, you find the diagnostic connector with the right input to fit the little black box that Herr Schmidt gave you. Only a little black box. It slips into the box, a satisfying click. Tiny red light sends the box lid begins flashing. A few seconds later, it turns solid yellow, and then finally shifts to green. At that instant, all the lights in the garage turn off. A few seconds later, the emergency lights click in. If what Schmidt told you was true, you just killed the main power from most of the building. In theory, the box has only circumvented the security cameras on the building's upper floors. You should be able to intercept the camera feeds by tapping into the elevator console on the 24th floor. Hey, little thing. All right, team, let's go. There's no power to the building. And again, no, what do I know? Without warning, your comlink screen bursts into static. You hear the telltale series of clicks. Someone has established audio connection with your comlink. A moment later, your deep, sonorous voice speaks into your ear. You recognize the lodge contact, Luca Durer. Sir, do not speak, just listen. I have a proposition for you. I understand that your team is currently en route to retrieve a package of the Mark VI prototype, if I'm not mistaken. My associates and I are interested in acquiring the Mark VI for our own studies. We would like to deliver the device to us. Once you acquire the Mark VI, you will proceed back to the garage as planned. There you will find a transport parked beside your client's van. Load the Mark VI into the transport and we will be rewarded. Herr Schmidt will also be dealt with to protect you from reprisal. To accept our offer, simply proceed as instructed and return the prototype to us. Please note that we need the Mark VI in undamaged condition. If it is not in full working order, it is useless to us. As you know, our organization takes good care of its plans. It would be to your advantage to help us. Good day. The line goes dead with a click. The moment later, the sound of your teammates' comms chatter floods back into your ears. Hey, hold up a second. What's going on? Let's see. Got a comment from a contact of mine. His organization wants the Mark VI for themselves, and they're offering a lot of the money to make that happen. I think I must have misheard you. For a second there, I sounded like you were thinking of stabbing our client in the back for some extra newing. But that can't be what you said, because you know better than do something like that, right? All I'm saying is I gotta call him and decide what I'm about to do yet. I don't know who this Mr. Contact is, but we need the money and we need it fast, so I say go for it. Besides, we piss off this Herr Schmidt, who cares? I mean, we live in Berlin. There's bound to be plenty of other clients out there. We says the original plan. We're going to depart to Herr Schmidt. We need contact resources more than we need Herr Schmidt. Like us, we're going to take the offer. Worry about that later. For now, let's get on with the run. I don't like anything about this, but at the end of the day, I guess it's your call. Make sure the right one for all of our sakes. The elevator indicates the console built into the wall besides the elevator. Looks like the elevator console. The camera feed should have been routed here. It takes a moment for the conduct to your PDA, and immediately visual feeds from all over the building begin to flood in. All right, let's find a way upstairs. Warning lights stir up out of the console at your approach. Large letters freak out against a red background. Warning, toxic contamination detected. Phosgene gas, hazardous material, override, engage, laboratory entrance, lockdown. Substance library. Extra field, okay. Purge library air. This action will result in venting of contaminations to the exterior atmosphere. Level 5 authorization required. where a power system air fails, papers, loose objects begins to flutter, and all power distributes the rest. Atmosphere purged, no contaminants detected, disengaging lockdown. Yay! Scientists daily debate a small pile of smashed glass and a number of beakers have been knocked over at a nearby table. Computer's powers were in sleep mode, but when the sleep comes on, half-written text file on the screen, the timestamp of this most recent edit tells you that it was written just a few minutes ago. Timestamp of the most, yes. I didn't sleep last night, doesn't look like I'm going to sleep tonight either. Last batch failed, my fault, just mixture wrong. Sloppy work, Jensen. Really keep my eyes open. Going to try though. No excuses in the office. I despise relying on simulates, but I've got no choice. Got to keep going. Progress marches on. Starting a new batch. If Hasbro's Hofer's pet isn't ready to be tested tomorrow, well, best not think about that. Got to concentrate. Remember, lab safety. Keep alert. Keep awake. One wrong move, it's spelled disaster. Glancing back to the menu, looks like there was a log entry reaching for like 2 weeks. All of the entries attributed to the same author, and none of them appear to be password protected. 2 weeks ago. The new formula today, Formula 17, I swear. Many of these things have no imagination, like all Formula 17, honestly. Still, I can't wait to start working with it. From what I read, the early clinical trials were promising to the extreme. Amazingly potent, this stuff at increased potency means less frequently injection of lower dosage. There's nothing to the like. Despite my enthusiasm, there is still much to obtain. Dissipating the absorption rates is the first list, but I have a concentration regarding subjects' immune reactions. Perhaps the formula could be tailored on a patient-by-patient basis. Can't talk. Too dumb. Last week, tailoring doses of individual patient has worked wonders. The key was taking gene therapy-based approach. They've been using it in medicine for ages, so why not apply the same logic here? So, in a nutshell, I've used the subject's own DNA to delude the immune system into believing that Formula 17 belongs in their bodies, simple and effective. The approach has helped to increase the formula's absorption rate, while significantly reducing incidence of rejection. Unfortunately, it also rules out an easily mass-produced product, but I'm convinced that the results will justify the additional cost. Yesterday's entry. A week. He waits an entire week before telling me that tailoring the mixture is an unacceptable solution. And then he tells me that trials begin tomorrow. I have no time, and Giesbach's applying so much pressure that I can barely think, bastard. Haushofer's probably threatening him. All of them can rot. Maybe now that Haushofer's paying heat the sheets with Giesbach's secretary, he'll learn to lighten up. We can only hope. Anyway, I have some new ideas to move forward with the formula. Admittedly, they are far-fetched, possibly even dangerous. But if I don't start producing some results, I get the feeling I won't be my problem for much longer. Wish me luck, Journal. It's science time. Counter's note, carefully transcribed, neat handwriting. The paper bears letterhead of Senior Executive Lennart Stromberg. I'm still waiting for that report. When I said ASAP, I meant I needed it yesterday. Stay until you completed the test and leave the report on my desk. Door code is 54139. Do this tonight. I will expect to see you waiting for me when I arrive tomorrow. Stromberg. AG data library archive and employee record system. Enter search terms to begin. Don't know what I'm searching there for, so just move on. Definitely some head stash. Junior Executive Werner Hardinger. Bar number of bottles of alcohol, most of them look expensive. I went for the road. First glance, the terminal appears unremarkable. Its password locked and cheerful screen saver marches across its display. Inspect the terminal. On closer inspection, you notice something interspersed among the colorful bouncing sprites of the screensaver. There is a symbol that you recognize, the dead drop marker for Schockenwallenreit. Jesus! As you study the display, a green light winks above the terminal's display, the recording light of a pinhole camera. The screensaver disappears and the screen floods with glowing green text. Welcome, contributor. Recognized. Welcome, cashier. Uh-oh. Regarding secret projects, this is an open request for information about the projects and material prototypes being developed at this facility. It is known that the synthetic drug is being developed here to support the project called Atlas, in addition to the function prototype called Mark 6 has been developed. First contributor to provide us with the project data for Atlas, the chemical formula for this new drug, and visual records of the Mark 6 in operation will be handsomely rewarded. All 3 picks of information will be required for payout. AG Chemical Europa is known to be a heartless corporation and with little regard for humanity safety. They are guided in the secret jealousy of seeking to hoard the information to gain to themselves. This behavior cannot be allowed to go on unpunished. What they know, they all shall know. No longer will they hide their secrets to the shadows. The timely device of this delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, shock, blah, 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 blah. All right. Atlas. That's not what I wanted. Atlas. Alright. Information beginning to fill across the screen. Go to half what is seen has been redacted and the rest is written in possibly dense corpse speak. Download the project your PDA for the shock. That's visual records. VP level authors, you wish to proceed? Yes. 54139. Alright. Alright. That's not it. Let's see what we can find out over here. Examine the keypad in astral space. Third eye opens, revealing a hidden world of astral plane. Several buttons of the keypad glimmer faintly. 1, 3, 4, 5, 9. Use those buttons. Alright. A stack of business cards and the desk reveals belongs to Anna Schroeder. Cursory research reveals the dark desk drawers are successfully stuffed full of lewd love notes that are hastily written on scraps of office stationery. Rummage through the notes. Sporting Annika's desk is like embarking on an odyssey of filth. They're 30 seconds in, and you have already learned 3 new euphemisms for sex in the storage closet, as well as an exciting new definition for a variety of common office terms. Thankfully, this also turns up something immediate. Scrap paper, the name of 5-digit culture about it. House 84792. Project Atlas. Folder is empty except for one single note. Move to digitized archive under executive authorization. All right. Um, 84792. All right. Atlas 84792. Records. Continue. 84792. There's a hair house for too many records to sort through. Quickly a scan reveals details. Recordings, laboratory experiments, metahuman images, an extensive series of cyber surgeries being performed upon a large troll. Records that the same troll carving his way through opponents with a massive axe. A gun cam footage from what appears to be a vehicle-mounted chain gun. The weapon has been photographed tearing apart a variety of targets, both artificial and organic. Visual records to Schackenfelder. Okay. MKVI 84792. Prototype Atlas Pen Director Project Atlas. Volumes of information being across the half what you're seeing has been redacted and the rest are inputs. Alright. Is that it? Did I get the optional stuff? No. Ah! Not what I wanted. Formula 17. 84792. Complex symbol formula display on screen formula 17 appears to be a drug designed to suppress higher brain functions, specifically those functions related to emotion, response, and decision-making skills. From what you can tell, their overall purpose of the drug is to render subjects submissively and pliant. The notes go on to suggest that Formula 17 was developed as a component of a larger project called Atlas. Apparently, Project Atlas was something to do with cybernetic augmentations. Formula 17 was developed to help reduce the incident of rejection in Project Atlas test subjects. Recent trials of formula have become extremely encouraging, with initial serious concerns, fatalities, and have recently dropped off to a statistically insignificant level. The document is accompanied by a fairly extensive record of testing performed on metahuman subjects, along with death records over the course of the project. Schackenfelder has been interested in all this information. According to the chart, securing the information that would be a top priority. In the wrong hands, however, this formula could be immense harm. We'll copy the formula over. We're interested in all this information. Further, chart is saying the information would be top priority. Okay, never mind. Same thing. All right. All right. Got all that. Seems kind of weird to have a door there and then nothing over here, but what do I know? Alright, so looks like there's nothing else up here. We shall proceed onward. Cast your encounter, examine the keypad in astral space. Alright. 4792. Confirm. Other whisks you upward towards the executive level at 25th floor. As expected, has been relatively smooth sailing so far. A chime breaks the silence and the elevator goes to a stop. Mark 6 is somewhere on this floor. All you have to do now is find it. Orange light winks out, leaving you in a darkness a moment later. The building lights flip on, trying to all the way full of illumination. The light is uncomfortably bright. A quick check of your comlink shows that your security feed has been terminated. Instead of command view at the 24th floor, you find yourself staring at a black screen. Well, that can't be good. Yeah, it's not. Slides open with a pneumatic hiss. An enormous figure fills your vision. It stands motionless by a console in the corner of the room. Most every inch of the thing is covered in dull steel and gleaming chrome. Its mechanical arms end in articulated hands that wouldn't look out of place on an industrial machine. Bulky, cumbersome things designed for crushing power rather than finesse. Clutched in one hand is crushing hands, and chain gun glints with a sinister purpose. That shouldn't be possible. Nothing can be applied with that much chrome and live. It isn't I think it's, I don't know, on standby or something. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Figure stands completely still, but its eyeless head fidgets in agitation. Something about it reminds you of a snake testing the air. Cut off to one side, the screen of control console glows cheerfully in the gloom. Cyber Zombie prototype control console. Activate the console. Mark 6 prototype is an exclusive property of AG Chemi Europa. Unauthorized access is prohibited. To put this prototype into demonstration mode, you may activate its systems for the following menu. Alternatively, the system can be directly piloted via the remote control rig. Press any key to continue. Chief, did you read that? I'm going to drive the hell out of this thing. Oh, I suppose we don't know enough about it yet. Yeah, fine, read up. But after you got done, I'm going to do my thing. I mean, how many riggers can say they piloted a troll? Talk about this later. For now, get out of my hair. Read Cyber Zombie's aura. Third eye opens. Instantly drab ugliness of your mundane world is washed away by the obliterated by the glowing energies of the astral plane. Something is wrong here. Very wrong. The Cyber Zombie's aura is almost completely black. To your horror, the light of your own aura seems to be drawn towards it. You feel a twisting sensation in your guts, and it takes all of your willpower to keep from blacking out. Keep looking. You force yourself to continue staring into the gaping wound that is the Cyber Zombie's aura. Slowly, your vision begins to adjust. Behind the darkness, you can see a glimmer of color. Somehow, buried under a mountain of chrome and steel, there's a part of this thing that is still capable of thinking, of feeling. That soft, living core is shrieking in pain. Reflexively, your third eye clenches shut. The color and beauty of the astral plane disappear from view, taking the horror of the Cyber Zombie's aura with them. A single thought echoed through your head, backed by an iron will that is not your own. A message from the mind that has been severed from its body, but still very much alive. Kill me. Shuddering, you emerge from your reverie. You are once again standing before the control console. The Cyber Zombie stands unmoving just as it did before. Input command. Glory examines the Cyber. Glory nods and steps forward. As she stands next to the Cyber Zombie, you can't help but notice how much chrome riddled her own body. Cyber is high grade, quality stuff, but not mil-spec. The arms look industrial in design, interesting choice, but there is nothing wrong with it. The control system looks interesting. Like a drone control interface, but it's wired to the base of the skull. From the positioning, I'd say it's connected directly to the right thing's brainstem. Glory takes a closer look at the Cyber Zombie's control module. A moment later, she takes a sudden half step back. She turns, looks at you, and discusses her face. Sir, listen to me. We have to kill this thing. This thing is our payday to Gloria. Explain. This troll is still conscious. He's still conscious. They've outfitted him with an inhibitor chip. He's trapped in his own body, screaming to get out. This isn't a prototype. It's a person. You can't just cash him for a paycheck. You do anything about it? Help him in some way? No promises, but I can try. Target looks around and control module scowling. Do it. Now here, let's get down to the garage first. I want to have a van close by in case anything goes wrong. In the meantime, we're going to have to activate him. She falls back under regular position of the group. Just remember, Kassir, the man you're giving orders to, not a machine. That's just the readme file. Mark 6 prototype demonstration model. The Mark 6 prototype incorporates the top-of-the-line cyberware from all AG Chem Europa subsidiaries, including the Zeiss Dead Sight Laser Designator, BUT Heavy Industries Powerlift Industrial Cyberarms, and brand new Zeiss Sen Shell Cyber Skull. Where necessary, competitors' products have been incorporated into platform Ares, Dermal Plating, Universal Omnitech, Move by Wire, etc. These systems should be considered placeholders for the proof of concept prototype. Biological component of the Mark 6 was secret for the size and durability by General Genetics Worldwide. All autonomous functions necessary to maintain the biological component are original to the component itself and should be regulated within operational limits. This proof of concept demonstration model, the Mark 6 was designed for remote operational. A Zeiss Eye in the Sky drone control system has been incorporated into this Mark 6's skull. Comlink control is also possible for casual control, but for product demonstration purposes, use of drone control system is advised. Alright. Armaments. The Mark 6 prototype comes equipped with Ares Vanquisher vehicular rotary cannon to demonstrate a Mark 6's accurate strength and recoil suppression capabilities. Model is also equipped with the Global Polymers monofilament axe for demonstration purposes. This weapon has been designed with heft well beyond the lifting capacity of any unaugmented metahuman. The Mark 6, of course, can swing with ease. Long-term goals. In demonstrating the Mark 6 combat capabilities, it is this office's hope that the AG Chem Europa's newly developed Formula 17 cybernetic reagent will provide its value to the board of directors both as an astonishing technical achievement and a lucrative new revenue stream for the company. Albert Hauscher, Senior VP, Berlin Facility. Already got a drone blitz. I'm going to save it to my comlink and activate it. The activation controlling the cyber zombie's large life and step forward. You can hear the whir of articulating calipers to adjust its weight. A few seconds later, the whirring sound dies down. It relaxes into a slight crouch. Activation complete. Following predicted protocol, engaged, awaiting further instructions. Alright, let's get out of here. Night Errant Captain. The Night Errant Captain takes half step towards you, magnified by his mask speakers. His voice comes out of the roar like some great beast. Drop your weapons and step away from the prototype. Do it now. Drop your weapons, and I won't order the Tin Man here to tear you in half. Easy, Tiger. Let's talk this over. Night Errant fool. We don't talk things over with thief scum like you. We comply with my orders or die. The choice is yours. Play nice. Let me just never cut you all down. Right, let's see what happens. I don't like the sound of that. You guys think that this thing didn't install safeguard the thing? We couldn't take it back from you at the moment's notice. Now drop your weapon, I'll have it abomination tear you in half. We're talking about this like civilized people. Stop wasting my time, get your ass on the floor, get ready to have one-on-one with the All Might. To hell with this. Alright. Gonna hide here. And of course, what we always do, geek the mage. Geek the mage, alright. You right here? Wait, no. Right over here. You hide right there, and kablam! Or horribly miss. That works too. Really? me, because I'm better. Or you had. Alright. Come on, really? All right. Age has been sufficiently geeked. So reload. don't know. I think I should just hang the sense of it and just start that fight over again. But I suppose it's too late now. Crap. Well, that's that then, I suppose. Let's take me back to before the first fight. All right. Oh, God damn it, nope. Status, what like my health was and whatnot. All right. Not much, but it's something. That worked. Really? Get the mage. Alright, Probably wasn't a smart idea when I got this, you know, giant walking tank monstrosity. Too late now. So we'll go up there and ask him a question. console. Take some element to about 50 case and looks like skill deck probably rejected. Okay. So let's get the Blitz up there and see if Blitz can do it. And if not, well. Alright, I guess we're doing this now. I wanted to do this, but... Bypass the lock. Let's see what's in there. There's a little computer terminal in there. Now we'll have you go first, because that way. Guys haven't noticed me yet, which is good. You in there. Of course I missed. Let me ask him a question. Alright. I get whatever that was sitting around there last time. All right, whatever. Alright then. Is that all I can do in here? Alright, let's get out of here. Let's see how effective this was as I get out of here. See what that did for me. Most of that stuff now, so it was worth it to some extent. Not what I wanted. Wait now. I'm gonna do about it. Enforcer, Grenadier, Mage, Rigger. Alright. Get him, get him! Ah! Come on, it's a sniper. You're a sniper. This is a long range. This is what you do. You got no problems hitting from that distance. Sure, whatever. Stop shooting my Decker. Really? Well, then axe him. Kill him? I wonder if I should just leave this guy on Axis, since Axis seems to be doing a heck of a lot more than anything else. You're the Decker, aren't you? Where are you? Captain, Forcer. Conjurer, Mage. Well, get that conjurer. We can summon an evil spirit. Charge myself. Got him. Got him. Finally, the sniper snipes somebody. Minute. We're gonna attack them. Whatever. Step in the garage, the prototype in tow. Before you are two vehicles. You knew you would be waiting. Your client's van and the lodges. Two different clients, two different paydays. Decisions, huh, Chief? Yeah, no matter what we do, we're gonna piss someone off. I'm not talking about a piece of merchandise. This is living troll buried under all that chrome. What's your call, Chief? I can't say I envy you the decision. Approaches Mark 6, Ted's turns to track you. Its body, head are rigid at attention. Good, God, that's eerie. It's almost like it's waiting for something. Glory, disable the control circuits. Alright, see what I can do. Glory takes a moment to examine the protrusions at the base of the Mark 6 spine. Then she pops up the case to Cyber Zombie's controller. Her sculpted fingers flicker and dance over the Mark IV's circuitry. A moment later, a strange shiver runs through its body. It stumbles forward, lurching awkwardly at its feet. A few seconds later, it seems to recover. It stares at the hands for a moment and then turns to face you. The Mark VI speaks 2 words, its voice of brittle, broken glass. Thank you. Slowly, mechanically, the cyber zombie reaches up, grips its head in both hands, and then it squeezes. Caught in a vice-like grip of those heavy industrial arms, cyber arms, the Mark VI's cyber skull might as well be made of tinfoil. The air fills with the tortured sound of it tearing plastic and buckling steel. The Mark VI gives a final heave, and the armored skull crumples like a paper cup. Its body goes slack, and it topples to the ground, dead. Well, that was unexpected. And also disgusting. You know, I agree. Seeing something crush its own head would be quite disgusting. Not as bad, let him continue to suffer. He clearly wanted to die. Well, I guess I might as well load the body into the van. Here, Schmidt won't be happy, but it's better than nothing. Yep. The Lodge isn't going to like me, but then again, the Lodge seems like it's evil, so I don't care. I say that, but like, you know, I couldn't do that. Especially cramped when you ride back to the crew bazaar. In your mind's eye, you can still see the carnage that you left behind. The AG Chem building memories replay themselves over and over again. Fleeting visions of a hulking thing made of muscle and chrome. You put them aside, shelved for later. Job's over. It's time to collect your pay. I've uncovered some terrible information. The team has assembled the safe house. Please meet us there when you are able to. Yep. First things first. Go talk to these cell phone payphone dudes. Deliver AG Chem prototype, blah, 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 blah. Machine accepts the data, upload only a few moments later. Certified cred stick is spat out at the slot. The phone's old LCD read display information, freedom, equality information, shock and valor. Well, I'm gonna meet the team, but anything new to say? You approach the counter, you find Absinthe reading a small soy-cast-stained booklet. The pages are old and weathered. Consider, when you speak to the men who are not men, the fleshy puppets imprisoned behind glass, you must remember that they are dream. They may not be real people by your definition of the term, but they do have dreams. That alone makes them worth saving. That's all I needed. Any new magic spells for me? Probably not. Yeah, nothing new. Hello. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Still confident if I keep doing sit and play dead, he'll get play dead eventually. Open jobs directory, claim payment from Mexico prototype extraction. Who gets a response few months later, message pops up on the screen. To call your work unsatisfactory would be an understatement. Well, I said that we wanted the prototype, it should be gone without saying that we wanted it intact and operational. Technically fulfilled the terms of our agreement, so you will get paid, but do not expect to work for us again, Schmidt. I'm okay with this. Your salary, administrative supply costs, automatic deductions, ballast funds, registered. All right. Okay, BBS, keywords. Formula 17. So we've all seen this one floating around, the tricks. This is some serious stuff. It's got heavy duty corp written all over it. Not a lot of players could be behind something like this. Ares or SK or maybe one of the pharma corps. Say Shring or AGC, Tolstoy. Of course, you can never totally discount the Azis either, Ruby. Tolstoy, my esteemed colleague, this is what indeed a recipe for some top-shelf dreck. Whispering from the shadows, they say this is a source straight from the SF state. The smiling bandit strikes again. Ha 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 ha. Hello boys, I'm a big fan, you know, a long-time reader, first-time poster. Quite an interesting concoction you have there. I'm just itching to cook some up. So many interesting properties to play with. I've already got a few tweaks in my mind, one special versions 2.0, Brewmeister. Sure that you want to do that? This stuff doesn't pay nice. The corps are bad at sharing their toys, the smiling bandit. You can of course always share their secrets for them, just gotta make sure that you run a little faster than them. Clockwork. Always running there. Running ACW, the smiling bandit. Like clockwork. Clockwork. Bandit, I'm touched to your concern, but don't worry about little old me. I do declare this shall be ever such fun, Brewmeister. That didn't sound like it's going to end well. Please help me find my daughter. She ran away from home. She's human, early 20s with short blonde hair and a data track. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. Worried mother. Not exactly the place you're looking for being kids. How did you even get in here? Paid good money to get on here. I was told you people could help. If you've got the new one, I can come to the right place. I sent you a number that you can reach me, Ruby. The old help me find my missing kid routine, a classic maelstrom. Money is on, escaped wage slaved, Wraithlink. Make sure you do your homework, Ruby. Tolstoy. Corp Tracer. Anyone have a good backup plan for when you get stuck with the Tracer? Barely managed to bug out of my apartment after a Corp hit squad came knocking. Lessons learned, pat yourself down a couple of times and make sure you don't have a tail. If I miss something, I'd rather keep my safe houses, you know? Safe. Wraithlink. Have a good luck with RF blockers. I have a jamming grid set up near my safe house. It projects any signals to a few miles away. Well, I got some cameras placed. So when someone shows up there, I know they were trying to find me. Then I do a thorough sweep to find the tracker. Alan Altbit. Sharp. How long does it go before they give up? Tolstoy. Usually the rule of threes. They keep reprojecting the signal to different locations. In my experience, they give up after the third one is dead and stop listening to the RF signal. Alan Altbit. Alright. Payday to the post. Nope. $10,000 away. Closer to it, but I want to keep my own money, so. Alright, let's see what you have to say. Step forward, the rest of your team has fallen silent. Amstel shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. I have new information. I'm afraid this news isn't good. So you said over the comm. Go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. Weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of a missing shipment. It was delivered to Harfeld Manor. Well, that sounds horrible. So, it is. I've heard this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. Never ran across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to make it know to know that I don't want to. Stories you've heard are correct. The Doom is extremely dangerous substance. He gestures to a technical document on his computer display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Doomsday kills by destroying the host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth 212 isotope. When introduced into the host and the antibodies bind to a surface level muscular tissue, the tissue then killed with an alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. Heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41 after seeing what it did to people up close. The UCAS passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. It doesn't tell you how bad it is. Nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this drug? Nothing good. Much goes without saying. The development worries me. It worries me greatly. Dragon was talking about bioweapons. We've got bigger problems we thought on our hands. Well, in my book, that doesn't change anything. I mean, it's ups and shakes. It's Firewing allowed to carry out her plan, whatever those might be, but we're going to stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. As far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that she's after us. We shouldn't let our oversights get distracted by anything else. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward. And that means we must continue working towards raising Alice's fee. I leave the latter in your capable hands. When you acquire the necessary funds and you're ready to head back out to the rabbit hole, let me know. For there, we will discuss our next steps. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for their next run. Dietrich, right behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backward glance at Glory. If any has an impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory, let's go. Any new jobs? Probably not. One last DVD. Screen flickers. Mellet's face appears on screen with a plastic smile. Hello, Hoyek again, Kasir. We recovered one last DVD here, but I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. We might as well use rust as coasters. They're all beyond repair. If you look at the table beside your DVD player, you'll find the disc that I salvaged. To be completely honest, that was a lie. To recover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Shrati is still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner, but his poor hygiene disgusts me. But he's very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's credit due. Message ends and your image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. Nope. Just the one job, right? Yeah. Alright. You ready to talk more? Well, you can see I've been dreading this. So now you know what I've done, what I am, and you're going to tell me off. I wouldn't blame you. Wanted to see how you were doing. Not great, Sigling. About how you'd expect. We left off to a bad place last time. I've been thinking about your story. I have questions for you. Hey, what? Got out of Fush, tell everybody how it's called self and running. Still full of kids who are being brainwashed, and worse, shouldn't we do something about that? Hold your silence for a moment, and then she finally nods. Yes, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and every time I got the close to making that decision, I've turned and run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face things, but I can't go do it alone. I'm going to need your help. That's the idea. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to be clear about what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in this place, lots of street kids who get stuck in by Marta and other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But there's also Harrow to consider. I want the man dead. Lord knows he deserves it. And if we don't do anything, killing the top priority, we might get him away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else where we can't find him, and all this will have been for nothing. Likely to run into other complications as well, so I think we need to make a decision here up front. What do we do here at my place? Rescue the kids or take Harrow down? I don't think that we can manage both. Oh, Jesus, what do we, to do? Let's wipe the guy out. I already needs to die. I don't want any of the kids hurt or killed. But Harrow, that bastard, has to pay for what he's done. She stops and suddenly assured herself a moment. Later, for newfound confidence, she looks at you and there are fire in her eyes. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. Damn right it does. We can get the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to... Alright. Eager, anything more from you? So this isn't the best of times. As if my PDA decided your approach. My language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried. Something's put you on edge. I want to know what it is. Long pause. Finally, she turns to the PDA, and you can look at the screen. This the image greets you as a holographic pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. Ran up against him in my KSK days. Tell me more. Specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All of the groundbreaking work that the syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, and my contact spotted him in Shadowrun. It's a little too close to the Q Bazaar for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the Engineer can do up close. My KSK tracked him a few years ago. I had him in my sights with my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, we regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town and the softening up after the syndicate moved in. I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town? I can't let that happen again in Shatmist. Agreed. Do you know where he's working for now? Fifth bit would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. Client his list is longer than you'd expect. Got any examples? We know for a fact he's worked for the mafia groups operating outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's taking contracts with the triads as well. Many contracts tell me he's even done a few jobs for Timanos. It's a hell of a resume. Yes, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image of the PDA a few months longer. So long story short, I'm going to have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important this is, that we've resolved this first string situation. I get it, but I can't just sit back and let this happen. I won't. If the Crew Bazaar is at risk, it's too important to a job to rest with your shoulders from one person. I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, Fearless Leader, you're right. I could use the help, but others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be quite a job, 2 people max. You're prepared for this, you can hold up your end. I'm better off on my own. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things, meet me at Der Rilkenwiller. I've got a contact who's joined us there. He can help us figure out our next step. Dietrich's got anything to say? Back when you took out Humanus, you said that you fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. Alright, boss, we can talk about that. So I already mentioned that Berlin's punk and anarchists joined forces to fight off the racists, right? After a long, bloody fight, we beat them. What I didn't mention was how I figured into all of this. I'm an anarchist at heart, always have been, but the time I was fit squarely in the punk camp. I was 32 at the time. Messenkampf was still touring, not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess I was sort of elder statesman for that scene. When we rallied to fight the racists, my followers came along for the ride. A bunch of young kids, all of them full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. I was full of good old Dragon Slayer spirit, pissed off and itching to fight, and so I let those kids into the fray. They waded into the riders alongside me, yelling and screaming, their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of fight itself, but boss, I do remember the aftermath. A lot of kids that followed me had grown up listening to my music. They all had my attitude, Seer, but none of them had my magic. And youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. I left the punk scene for a lot of reasons, I told you, but boss, well, I told you, boss, but there was a bigger reason. I saw in those kids broken bodies. The road that I'm on, if it leads to the grave, I got the power to make it a leisurely trip, but make no mistake, that's where I'm headed. Those kids were tried to follow my footsteps, and they wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay out of the public eye and stick to my shadows. My stints as a role model was ill-advised. What do you thought to what I said earlier? Yeah, boss, I have. It's an interesting idea, but there are risks. I'm thinking this might not be the best time to approach him about it. He's sourced my magic, remember? If our discussion turned into an argument, he could take all my magic back in a heartbeat, and then where would I be? To a bit Dragon Slayer, I think he'd likely the way you're talking, since when has he ever encouraged you to back down from a fight? Got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down ever, not even from him. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities. I guess you'd say taking on something deserving organization and calling off the hunt for something more impressive than Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. I'm never going to bring down a corporate poli club all on my lonesome. He shrugs. But maybe that's not the bad thing. I'll take a look at the guesswork of life. I don't know. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. Hannes, white whale, after you're done with all this. When a big bad habit say they're corrupt, they're the biggest corporation in the world. At least honest God Dragon. Tell yourself to the group. I say keep it fluid. Stop anyone that threatens the flux state. Isn't that what Berlin is all about? Berlin, yeah. Tucks his head. Interesting. It's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second, I'll ask. Closes his eyes, concentrates, minutes pass, slowly a smile creeps across his face. Yeah, I think he'd like this plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Well, boss, I got myself a plan, a new target, and boots. To boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through this current predicament alive. You know, Diedrich, you know that you've got your handle on your connection with the Dragon Slayer. You could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks would benefit from your experience. Yeah, boss, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe we could give back a bit and fix something of the damage I caused in the misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in the front of us, that is. It's good thought anyway. I'll keep it in mind. Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new. He's just it's going to take some time. All right. Contacts up my computer. New messages. No. Ninjas. No. woman stands at the bar, smoking a cigarette. You've seen her face before, like you strike one of the mercenaries from Monica's files. A plume of blueberry smoke spills from the corner of her mouth as she turns attention to you. Hey, she distinctly shook her pattern tattoo, and the lines of her face shimmer and pulse with light. You need something? Don't believe you met. I'm Kasir. I know who you are. How you holding up, champ? I heard what happened to your boss. She was just boss. She was my friend. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss and all that. A lot of people are still torn about it. So you need anything or just get going. Monica, did you know her? A couple of times she seemed nice enough, but mostly I knew her reputation. Can't have the keys without hearing about the Queen of the Q Bazaar. Can't say I was a fan. Oh, there, Monica didn't control the Q Bazaar. She didn't she? Then why did this place start falling apart the second she got geeked? Okay, that's a fair point. Either Monica controlled the Q Bazaar or she had fingers in so many pies that she might as well have come out as the same thing either way. You and your friends follow Monica too. Obeyed her orders without question, right? There were debates. And at the end of the debates, Monica would put her foot down. You would wind up where she said. Don't bother answering, it's a rhetorical question. For such rabid anarchists, your friend seemed awfully comfortable being in power. Kind of a contradiction in terms, don't you think? Fair point, but you're not going to change my opinion of Monica. Wasn't trying to. Remarkable thing about living in a free society, we're all allowed to have different opinions. Don't take it personally, I'm not sure that you would like my friends either. One last thing, I can't stop you from stepping into Phil Schaefer's shoes, but already doing it, making all the same moves as she did. Word of advice though, don't take too much on yourself. Spread the responsibility around. Great of you to care. I don't. When a place like this, stacking too much power on any one person is dangerous. Not just for that person, but for everybody. The last thing we need is for you to eat a bullet and then the whole place fall apart again. That's fair. I don't know why I just talked to her, but... Dwarf has distinctly Eurasian appearance. He peers up at Eager through almond-shaped eyes. The rest of his broad face is dominated by strong Slavic features. He nods to himself and puts down his mug of soy calf on the edge of the table. A plate of day-old pie cools. In the haze of cigarette smoke. Oi, Eager. Been a long time. Keeping busy? You'd say that. This is Bannock. He's a friend. Don't know if I'd go that far. Nothing personal, you understand. If I were to start keeping friends, I might call you one, but in my experience, friendships and obligations go hand in hand. Solitary life is cleaner. Professional acquaintances, then. Better. Let's get down to business, shall we? Let's say we need intel on the engineer, where he's staying, who he's working with, and how long we've been in Shatnest. Whatever you got, we want it. He spears a hunk of pie with his fork and crams it into his mouth and starts to chew. A moment later, he shrugs. I've had worse, and of course, I'll give you what I can, but I don't know much. Can point you in the right direction. That's all. Just tell us what you can, we'll handle the heavy lifting. Dwarf nods and fumbles in his jacket pocket something. A moment later, he proceeds to a weathered paper map and spreads it on the table. All right, what you're looking at is the northwest quadrant of Shatnest. This is gang territory, all of it. These days, the whole keys is being held by Ramrock. They run with a hammer before we can handle him. Tries to left hold much of it. Wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. The guy that filled Power Vacuum with their last leader bit it was a real piece of work, but maybe you're right. I hope so for your sake. This warehouse right here is Ramrock HQ, and that's where Engineer is staying. Wonderful. If he's staying there, he might have to be arranging some sort of deal with them. I mean, the safe bet, and they haven't pulled their guns on him yet, so it's fair to assume that the negotiations are going well. I'm sure that I don't have to tell you this, but the last thing you need is an alliance between some foreign syndicate and Ramrock. Bach. No good could come of that. Can't argue with that. Now, I can't tell you who the engineer is working for, but I can ask him about... You'll have to ask him yourself. What I can do is make it easier for you to find him and sit down with him. Bannock reaches under the table and brings out a canvas bag. He places it in front of you and pushes it forward. Don't open that in here. There are people in this room who would kill you for what's in this bag. You tell us what it is, or you have to guess. He lowers his voice to talk whispering. He's learning to. You're going to find is a gadget about the size of a water pistol. It has rubberized grip and the hair trigger. It's good for one shot. Is it a stun gun? No. He pauses for a moment, playing his fork. Play with his fork. Well, not really. For your purposes, you might as well think of it as one, though. The object in question is a cyborg deactivator. I had it shipped here, a great personal expense from the superior Supermax prison in UCAS. The warden owed me a favor. Very nice, Bannock. That should make this easier. Not easy. Possible. Wouldn't be giving it to you if you could just be done without it. The engineer has a rockin' Delta grade move-by-wire system. Unless you can shut it down, there is no way in hell you're going to catch him. And if we do shut it down, he'll be forced into a state of permanent seizure. Only until he gets this thing up and running again. Deactivated isn't the same thing as broken. Until then, his life will be a living hell, but I can think of worse things to use as a bargaining chip. Remember, you need to know who he works for. The more you can take him out of his comfort zone, the better. Sounds like we have a plan. Sounds that way. Thanks, Bannock. I'll let you know how things work out. Don't bother. I'll be watching. Alrighty then. Got any better medical supplies yet? Hope so. Supplies. Nope, just still 2 medkits, alright. Reason not to, I guess. Alright. Guy has Guardian, max power, Aries Predator, Smart Link. So I don't know if I do know a while ago I mentioned that I thought the Aries Predator just normally came with a Smart Link, and I looked it up, and yeah, that wasn't a thing until 4th edition. So you know, I guess I was wrong on that. So you know. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. Damages. Not really gonna do there. So, all right. One last check in here, and I'll probably go. Anything from you? Nope. That's a bolt. Not gonna use that. It's eels. No. eager and travel to the shot nest to locate the engineer. Alright. Right arm and left leg. Oh, nice. I just thought she'd have more. Alright. Shotness, the keys to the next door to the crew bazaar, an object lesson in anarchy gone wrong. Violent gangs rule the streets here, trading territories to the roar of gunfire. Streets are a war zone. And dangerous as Shotness really already is, could be worse. The gangs are vicious but disorganized. They pose little risk to the neighbors with a little more than makeshift barricade and a few volunteers. The crew bazaar has successfully insulated itself from the chaos of the neighboring keys. The engineer could change all of that. This has to be stopped, and the F-State will hold needs to be alerted what his clients are trying to up to. It's up to you, eager to make sure that happens. All right. Well, one of those. You know, a med kit while we're at it. Anyway. All right. So I'm going to put this place behind me after the Humanist run. As you near the edge of the crew bazaar, the familiar pistons, asphalt stench of Shatner's crawls in your nostrils, sticks to the back of your throat, the divided husk of the burnt-out building's rooms will rebid. Put this behind me when the Humanist run. Yeah, I'm with you there. The funny thing is, syndicate presence might actually help Shatnest. For short term, at least, they'd clean up the streets, if nothing else. Don't tell me you're changing your mind. Not for a second. A syndicate of any syndicate in Shatnest would be a disaster for the crew bazaar. Let the people on the other side of the gate deal with their own problems. I won't allow my home to be endangered for their sake. Alright, well, a little bit early, but I mean, we're about that time, and I feel like this is going to take longer, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here and pick this up next time, so save it. Thanks everyone so much for stopping in, and we'll see you next time.